Live from number 5 Ola Hansi Lane at Tesano in Accra, Ghana, this is a new program on Channel 1 television focusing purely on the upcoming by-election in the Akwatia constituency. I am Umaru Sanda, and I'll be your driver as we get the news and the analysis from that constituency, which is named after diamonds. How precious a constituency, and to think that the Member of Parliament of that particular constituency, Honorable now the late Ernest Yaokomi, passed away after a lot of struggle to become Member of Parliament for the people. Now the onus lies on the next person to be elected on September 2nd. The New Patriotic Party, the party he belonged to, has a candidate. The NDC, the party which did not win that seat, has a candidate, and the two will be slugging it out on September 2nd. I'll be right back to introduce who is going to help me do this discussion.
Me pay to the Jamie. Sister, me dad, dear Betty, be an amiam shishimi. I could eat that. Me many tears, some of them is a candidate. Say, me made us to take it. Sika, sit there to the moon. Juju Sumo, baggy the one there. Never be free. So, what you say bag number? One number to show. Wow. That's a minute from you, Panama Solio. Hey!
You're welcome. This is Akwatia Watch on Channel 1 television, and it's the show, like I said to you, that we'll be doing from today all the way to September 2nd. We'll be live on weekdays at 3 p.m. on 97.3 CTFM and on Channel 1 television, bringing you everything you need to know until the final ballot is cast and until the declaration is made to know who represents the people of Akwatia in Parliament for the rest of this particular term. Like I said earlier, I am Umaru Sanda, and to help me do the discussion, we deployed a team to the Akwatia constituency over the weekend to assess the grounds and analyze the situation and bring a report. That team was led by Deputy Head of News, Nana Tufo Boatin, who is in studio with me. Nana, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sanda.
Did you bring back some diamonds?
I was hoping to.
You were hoping
to? I was hoping to, but quite unfortunately, most of the miners were not in touch and were not available to supply us some.
I hear that in the recent past, when it is raining, they see some of those minerals on the ground. You should have waited for the rains to fall, like heavy rain.
I know.
And you get to see. We'll also be joined later by our Eastern Region correspondent, Neonia Mate Kanaku, who has an eye on the constituency and will do some further discussion on the show here on Akwatia Watch. Let me start off, Nana. So how was the trip? Was this your first time going to Akwatia, or you've been there before?
It's my second time going to Akwatia. You recall that in 2020, we had a show, quite a similar show, but that was a general one covering all constituencies across the country, which we called Voters' Diary. And as part of that show, we traveled to almost all the constituencies within the country to do, just as we have done with Akwatia, an assessment of the constituency, its geographical location, the dynamics that play out in its elections, the history of that constituency, and what factors are likely to determine the outcome of the election. So in 2020, I did a similar trip to Akwatia, where we went to assess the grounds, and of course the candidates, the various individuals that were vying for the seat, and what the constituents were looking out for, and of course what their expectations were going into that election. So yes, this will be my second time going into the Akwatia constituency.
At the time you went, it was a seat occupied by the NDC.
Yes, then occupied by Baba Jamal.
I see. Okay, so Akwatia is in the eastern region, but
yes.
walk us through. I'm driving from Seko, Kwame Nkrumah Seko. I want to go to Akwatia. Which part of the eastern region is it? Is it the northern part of the region, the eastern or the central part?
Basically, your easiest route to get you to Akwatia is to just drive on the Accra-Kumasi highway.
Okay.
So you're heading towards Accra-Kumasi. You're doing Pokwase.
Via Suhum, the Suhum road.
Suhum, yes. So Pokwase and Suhum traveling that stretch. Once you get to Suhum, you are making a left turn. Make a left turn and drive.
Where the Suhum overhead is?
Where the overhead is. Okay. So yes, you don't need to go up. Just make a turn and underneath the overhead. Turn left and go straight. Okay. Once you're going straight on that route, you're heading towards Isamankese.
Okay.
Get to Isamankese and within some...
My friend Mutala Tanko is in he calls the place Samai. That's how he calls the town. He's my tailor. He's in Isamankese. He calls it Samai.
Well. So from
Samai.
You're turning left where the Suhum overhead is, and that left should take you to Isamankese. From Isamankese to Akwatia should be less than an hour. You should be in Akwatia.
Now, so it means that Asamankese's constituency borders it?
Borders, yes. Asamankese, that's the Samai constituency, will border Akwatia to the west. No, Samai will border Akwatia to the east because you have Kede to the west. Okay. So Kede to the west, Samai to the east. Then you have Itiwa West. Okay. Remember Itiwa West?
Itiwa Forest.
Yes, so that's... former roads and highways, Kwesi Amoakwata's constituency. So you have Itiwa West bordering Akwatia to the north, and then you have Odan.
Achim-Odan.
Yes, Achim-Odan, bordering Akwatia. And you know all those towns within that area are preceded by Achim. So you have Achim-Wenchi, Achim-Odan, Achim-Kede, Achim-Buedua, and the likes.
So it's Achim land?
Yes. Purely an Achim
land. So Odan, Asamankese has a district name. I've forgotten the name of their constituency and district. I remember
Samai is the name of the constituency.
Is it?
Samai.
They call it something... I only tell you one. Lower West Achim. Yeah, that's the name of the
Lower West
constituency.
Achim.
Yeah, so then there's Upper West Achim. Yeah. Then there's Akwatia.
Yes.
So Akwatia is in the name of the district and the name of the constituency?
The district is Denchembo. Denchembo, and its capital is Akwatia.
What we are seeing in the background here, is that an aerial shot of
Yes,
Akwatia?
This is an aerial shot of Akwatia. And so this aerial shot is spanning areas such as Buedua, Akwatia itself. You have Apinaman, you have Jinase, Sechikrom, Topraman, Okumeni, among others. So these are some of the towns. You know, Akwatia is actually not your typically big constituency, but it has a number of towns, several towns within the constituency.
So heavily populated?
Heavily populated, if you ask me. It's just that when you go there, it will appear to you as a ghost town, but when they return from mining and farming, you know, Akwatia is nicknamed the Diamond City because, I mean, it served as the main center for diamond extraction in Ghana. However, over the years, as a result of concerns over, you know, the situation with our neighboring countries and, of course, their diamonds. So, I mean, there were concerns over conflict diamonds and a decreased investment in the diamond sector in Akwatia.
Blood diamonds.
Exactly. So there's been a decline in the sector. However, what has rather grown is artisanal gold mining. So if you're seeing diamond mining dwindle, but you're seeing artisanal gold mining increase.
So they have gold and they have diamonds.
They have gold and they have diamonds.
The diamond itself, okay, so Obuasi is one of our major mining towns. We know Anglo Gold was doing a lot of work there. Yeah. Who are the people who have been mining in Akwatia on the state level, governmental level, or at the national level? Who is in charge of that?
So just as you put it, gold is to Obuasi as diamond is to Akwatia. Okay. And over the years, you had the GCD. That's the Great Consolidated Diamond Company, leading the mining of diamonds in Akwatia. However, it has not been as functional as it used to be in previous years. Actually, when we got to the constituency, we were told that it was just about 2 weeks ago that they were reconnected to the national grid. They've been off for a very long period.
The company?
The company, GCD.
So, so the company is still mining?
For now, no.
Okay, so there's no mining happening in there's no mining of diamond in the township.
There's mining of diamond by individual miners, smaller companies, mining companies doing that. But for the GCD, which would have led government's mining efforts in Akwatia, it is non-functional at the moment.
Now, for what road are we looking at? This is not a third road?
No, this is not a third road. So this
is it a major road?
There's a major road that leads from Bwedua into the Akwatia constituency. And so this particular road
that has bitumen. That has bitumen
to an extent, not entirely. It doesn't run all the way through. It will run through to the main hospital. I think that's St. Dominic's Hospital.
Okay.
I'm not too sure of the name of the hospital, but it run through. But this will fall somewhere behind Bwedua, and then when you're going to where the Akwatia, the Kede SHS is.
Okay.
Yes.
You are giving me an aerial shot. I'm seeing houses. I'm not seeing people.
Yeah. Like I'm saying,
is it a dormitory town?
Like I'm saying, it will appear to you a ghost town because most of the people, especially the youth, have gone to mine.
Where? Outside the constituency?
Outside of the constituency.
Or so outside the township?
You won't find them within the Akwatia township mining, but they are in the towns or the outskirts of Akwatia doing the mining. But mind you, the mainstay of the people of Akwatia is farming.
Not mining?
No, they are to a large extent farmers.
Okay, let me let you halt that. This is Akwatia Watch on Channel 1 Television and also on 97.3 City FM. I am Umaru Sanda in studio with Nana Tufo Boatin, who's just returned from Akwatia, and I'm asking him a few questions to try and clarify a few things about that constituency. And we are talking about this because of the by-election coming up on September 2nd. Over the weekend, Nana Tufo went to the constituency leading a team from the Channel 1 newsroom and, of course, the city newsroom. And he produced a report summarizing some of the key things that he found. I want us to just watch that briefly, and we'll come back in studio to do some further analysis.
Akwatia, nicknamed Diamond City, is the capital of the Denchemboa district of the Eastern region. It is the main center for diamond extraction in Ghana, hence the nickname Diamond City. Unfortunately, there has been a decline in the diamond sector due to concerns over conflict diamonds and decreased investments, leading to significantly negative impact on the town's economy in the late 2000s. Now, many residents have therefore moved to artisanal gold mining, but Akwatia remains largely a farming community. The Akwatia constituency is bordered by Kede to the west, Isaman to the east, Tiwa West to the north, and Oda to the south. Now, there are a number of towns in the Akwatia constituency, with some notable ones, obviously, due to their political significance, being Bwedua, Takrase, Apinaman, Dwinase, Sechikrom, Topraman, Okumani, among others. Most of these towns have Zongo communities dominated by people of northern descent. The constituency has had the Electoral Commission declare a by-election due to the unfortunate passing of its Member of Parliament, Ernest Kumi. This by-election is scheduled for September 2. And so we've come to the constituency to gauge the mood of the constituents, preparations by the political parties, and to give you an idea of what the Akwatia constituency is made of, its makeup, its economy, its people, and how they are voted over the years. Join us.
bandi eni je wo se beto pa anti ye to ni asan to ni bi ye beto if say ye hiem puntu if say wo ba wo hwe ya ha no station ye wo hu aban bi na ba no we de obey first pa na ha no na nye
Mene
pa so NDC aban baba jama tam ni we de wo ye nya marketing so ye de e wo ha Akwatia mpeso isu ha ya yesan benya school takwa say secondary school and am sunsu na dis assembly ye de e bai e hwe nwoma ye nyanya mpuntu bibire ye de wo ha satem kra na eye Kedi secondary school no mko eye Manchester factory ho and I miss a pension na ema ye nya secondary school ne ye de foforo so ti abade de ye hia mpuntu nti e beto ne ato ne bi.
As my supporter, as MPP member, what I think is if they see so, it's wrong. Because of what about if the MPP of the PC for the NDC has won the election and he is not compiled with the DCE, how would the development come to Akwatia? It won't. So it's all about unity. And I hope my candidates Kwame Asumedu, King Solomon Asumedu will perform. He will not wait till government to bring something. If he sees something wrong, he will strictly go for it by his own before government will maybe give some approval or something. Because I believe in him.
Let's engage the NDC and the NPP on that level of preparation and how confident they are of winning the seat come September 2.
You would notice that we didn't start our campaign early as compared to the other side because of the tragedy that hit us. And we also went through an election, the primaries. They didn't. So we had some time spent on all that. So we came in quite later. And so prior to our coming in, there were this rumor that they were ahead and all that. You've been in the town, you've seen what is going on. I can assure you that the tables have turned completely, and they know that, God willing, it's a done deal for me and then the NDC. What is most important is the problems that Akwatia and then Chambo as a district. I mean, the problems that confronts us. We need to deal with infrastructure. Unemployment. NDC has over 184, 85 MPs. We've not even sorted them out because these are people who align with the policies of the government. They share the same vision. So it is important that we acknowledge the fact that the sitting president is the sitting president. Every resources and every opportunity is vested in his hands. At the end of the day, if we know who the president is, and I am the representative of the people, whose cross I should carry to the president, it makes it a bit easier. So as an MP, you have to have that lobbying skills.
September 2nd beckons. It's just around the corner. How prepared is the party?
Right. The party is well prepared. We have put everything in place. And we are approaching this election very, very well. Yeah. So what I can say is that the party is well prepared for this election.
Are the dynamics any different? You're presenting a new face. The NDC is also presenting a new face. How do you hope this plays out in the September 2 election?
See, we have presented a genuine candidate, a candidate we feel can win the seat for us. Yes, because he's a minor, and he has impressed so many people. And I can tell you, see, he's the best choice to beat the NDC man. Yeah.
Is that why you didn't go through primaries?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let's look at the grounds. When you go out there, what are the sentiments you pick up?
You see, on the grounds, let me tell you, we have gained the grounds, and we are confident that the masses are going to vote for Uwu.
The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, on August 20, when he met with the Ghana Journalists Association, gave the assurance that the police service had the men and enough men would be deployed to Akwatia to ensure a safe and a secure electoral process. True to his word, security men, police officers have been deployed to the Akwatia constituency. Even before you enter into the constituency, a number of checkpoints have been mounted. Vehicles are stopped. Occupants, including the vehicle, are searched. As you can see, this is one of such checkpoints where barricades have been mounted, and of course the police carrying out their security work to ensure a safe, secure, free and transparent election. Let's head back into town and speak to some residents of Akwatia on what they make of the security presence within the constituency. A group of gentlemen here watching the beautiful game of football. Let's interrupt them briefly and engage them on this particular subject of a by-election. Gentlemen, thank you so much for this opportunity. There's a by-election on September 2. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
How prepared are you for this by-election?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if I'm prepared though. But looking at the way the number of police coming here, I'm getting a little bit scared. I thought it was going to be a peaceful something and a normal something, normal election. I've never witnessed a by-election before, so I don't know how it is. But looking at the way you people are bringing police and all, I don't know, I'm getting scared.
Thank you. Let me find out from you. What are your own sentiments? What do you make of the entire by-election, the security presence and all?
I think the atmosphere is good. Looking at the security, I think everything is intact because there can't be violence. I think we are practicing democracy, and democracy is Kembi Mami Kembi. So this is not time to fight. Yeah, so I think everything is intact.
Are you going to vote, and are you confident that the police presence here will help ensure safe and secure elections?
Yeah, I'm going to vote. And I think the police are going to keep everything safe. Because looking at what went on in Ablekuma North, we don't want that thing to occur here. So I think it's a good sign. Yeah.
Behind me is the GCD Walker Clubhouse, which has over the years served as the collation center for elections in the Akwatia constituency. In the evening of September 2, 2025, this same facility will serve as the collation center. And so it is within these precincts that the returning officer for the Akwatia constituency, on behalf of the Electoral Commissioner, will make that declaration, a member of parliament, if you like, for the Akwatia constituency. Who will it be? The NDC's candidate or the NPP's candidate? We'll find out on the night of September 2, 2025. Reporting from Akwatia in the Denchemboa district of the Eastern Region, Nana Tufo Boateng for Channel 1 News.
So that's a summary of what Nana Boateng Nana Tufo Boateng.
What's going on?
I don't even understand. Nana Tufo Boateng, who went to the constituency for us over the weekend. That's a summary of what he found. We'll talk more about that and also talk to our Eastern Region correspondent on today's edition of Constituency Akwatia Watch, which is on City FM and Channel 1 television. But that will be after this break. Please stay with us.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates, Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Ghana Enterprises Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and Ghana Exim Bank, and is supported by Trillium Industrial Company Limited and Build Financial Technologies.
You're welcome back. This is Akwatia Watch on Channel 1 Television and on 97.3 CTFM. I'm Umaru Sanda. We'll be doing this for you until the election on 2nd September 2025. The contest is between the New Patriotic Party's Solomon Kwame Sumedu and the NDC's Bernard Bediako, who was the secretary of the party in the constituency and also the lawyer to the candidate of the NDC in the 2024 election, who actually went to court hoping to oust Ernest Kumi, but which ouster did not happen until God called him. And now there's a necessity for a particular by-election in that constituency. So, Tufo, you were explaining to me how there's mining happening in the town, but it is not the diamond that we associate Akwatia with. Share more.
The mining of diamond is no longer as buoyant as it used to be in previous years. I mean, the story has it, as you earlier espoused, that you could pick diamonds from behind your window after a race. You could be bathing, you know, in those localities back in the day, you have the main house, which is a compound house. The bathroom will probably be behind the main house. You could be in that bathroom taking a bath and you see diamond and you can just pick it up as easily and as available at that. But I mean, with all the rumors of conflict diamonds from neighboring countries and then the decreased investment in all that, I don't know how exactly that has affected the resource itself, but the mining of diamonds has gone down.
So it's now more gold.
There's now more gold.
But is it galamsey?
You would not have a major mining company as you would have it in other areas. But you have artisanal gold miners, small-scale miners. There are concerns of illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey. But to a large extent, you have small-scale miners doing the artisanal mining within the Akwatia area. And this is for gold.
Okay. Now, before we went on the break, you told me that mining isn't the mainstay, but rather farming. What do they farm?
So Akwatia is traditionally a farming community. So you have them doing your staples. So you have your, especially plantain, and then you have them doing the vegetables as well. But they are heavy on the plantain farming. And then because of the settler communities also within Akwatia, I will look at some of the towns and where these settler communities are as well. You have krobos in there, and most of them are actually farming oil palm. So you have the palm plantations, not necessarily plantations, but your
big farms.
Farms within the constituency as well.
So Akwatia is the name of the main town in the constituency, but it has smaller towns.
It has smaller towns. So just a brief on that. Denchambor is the district. You know, we have 261 metropolitan municipal and district assemblies in the country. Denchambor is one of the 261, and it's part of the 33 in the eastern region. So 33 MMDAs in the eastern region. Then Chambor is one, and its capital is Akwatia. Administrative capital is Akwatia. Then Chambor itself was carved from Kwaibibrim, and it forms part of the new districts and municipalities created in, I think, 2012.
Where Kwae means forest.
Forests. Kwae Brim. So this was in 2012 when that creation.
It's a forest area.
A forest area. Typical.
I can see that from the shots you returned
typical. And so
it's still green. A lot of it is green.
Very large parts of Akwatia remain very, very green. And
I don't know what B-brain means, but it sounds like black forest or something. What does Kwae brain mean? Do you know? Do you have the
we'll have to look into that.
Okay.
We'll have to look into that. But so for the district, it shares boundaries with now Kwae Brain Municipal, Achimansa District, and then you have West Akim, and then West Akim South, to West Akim to the south, and then Brim Central to the southwest.
I think it takes the name from the Brim River, the Kwae Brim. I think it takes from the Achimansa I mentioned. That's Opon Kruma's place.
Yes. Where you have Fuasia Yerebi.
Okay.
Yes. So this is basically the district itself, and then you have Akwatia serving as its administrative capital, and then Akwatia is bordered by Kede, Oda, Etiwa West, and then you have what's the name? Isamai as the four boundaries, the four, if you want to plot it.
So that's Lower West Achim.
Lower West Achim, yes, that's border Kedi. But within that border Akwatia, within Akwatia itself, you have several towns. It's quite interesting why there are so many towns within the Akwatia.
How many polling stations?
For polling stations, you have 119.
Wow.
119 polling stations.
So that should explain. So some of the towns you have?
Some of the towns you have the Buedua, you have Takrase, you have Achim Wenchi, you have Okumenin, you have Apinaman.
Before we even continue listing, so Achim Wenchi is significant.
Quite significant because it's significant because this is where the NSKUMI hailed from, and this is a typical stronghold of the NPP. One other thing you should take note is that Achim Wenchi is also a flashpoint. This is one of the areas where violence is recorded during elections in Akwatia. Okay. And this time around, the dynamics have changed because you would have, although Achim Wenchi is voting blue, it is rather the NDC candidate, Bediakun, who hails from Achim Wenchi. He hails from Takrase, but he has roots in Kusi and Achim Wenchi.
So the NDC candidate comes from the stronghold of the NPP.
His roots, by extension, his roots are from the stronghold of the NPP. Okay. And then on the flip side, the NPP candidate is a typical Buedua boy. Now, Buedua over the years has voted green. Okay. They have voted NDC, albeit with a slim margin. The catch here is that most of these towns have large Zongo communities within them. Okay. And these Zongo communities are people of northern descent, and they have the ability to sway the elections.
And so that explains former MP Baba Jamal being a Zongo boy, a Hausa-speaking Moshi Fulani. That's actually his ethnicity, Moshi Fulani man, who became MP once for that particular
And that's another thing about the Akwatia constituency. They are known profoundly for single-term MPs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. In the course of the week, we are going to talk about the tradition, the history of the constituency electorally, but the demography. So you said there are Krobo people there.
Yes. You have Krobo people, settler communities in a place like Achim Wenchi, in a town like Aken Council, and these are mostly Krobos, and they vote NDC.
Now, Krobos are from the eastern region, but from the Krobo side of the region. Now, Akwatia is a bit removed from Krobo land, but they move there, and you say they engage in farming, plantain, and all of those things. Okay. Who else? Which other ethnicities do you see? So the
Achims are there.
The northern people from the northern part of the country, a lot of minority groups, but it's Achim land.
It's an Achim land.
And so the Achim people are also there.
The Achim people dominate. Then you have those of the northern descent also there. It's quite difficult, a bit difficult to tell which part of northern Ghana those in the Zongo communities come from. But generally, we can say that these Zongos are occupied by people of northern descent. And then you have the settler communities, which are mostly occupied by the Krobos.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've talked about the township and how a lot of the people go and work. It's a mining town, and Obuasi always comes to mind when we think of mining communities. How developed is Akwatia?
That's where the disappointment is. For a town that largely and for a very long period held on to our diamond, what's referred to as the Diamond City. I mean, the development in Akwatia, it doesn't tally regarding the mining of diamonds in the town. And of course, all the history and the stories we've been told about the availability of diamonds in the town. It's difficult to pair the development with the mining.
So you see poverty when you
see poverty.
In terms of the infrastructure.
And then, of course, availability of amenities and all that.
When you go to a town, I mean, if you can't judge anything, at least you can judge the quality of the road.
Yeah.
So from Suhum all the way through Asamankasi to Akwatia, does the road look better than what you drove on, or the roads deteriorate as you go into the constituency?
You drive on a better road from Suhum through Asamankasi till you get to Akwatia.
Okay.
Once you enter the Akwatia township, it begins to deteriorate.
So the town roads are not good?
Not good.
Now, when they say they are not good, are they pothole ridden, or they are dusty parts, or what kind of roads are they?
You have tarred roads running from Bwedua all the way through to Akwatia, through the main St. Dominic's, which is the main hospital. So all the road in front of that leading into the Akwatia township is good. However, when you fall on the alternate sides of that main road, and you know how these areas are, so you have, like you are seeing, there is a stretch that lies in the middle, and then there are towns that border it on either side. Okay. The roads on either side of the main road, those are not tarred, those are not good.
Looking at the aerial views you brought us, I see they have old roofing sheets on there. So it looks like an old town.
It's an old town, and it remains an old town to a large extent. It's only in a few areas where you see some new developments, some structures that seemingly appear modern. However, to a large extent, the Akwatia town remains an old town. You see some of the structures, as we have been showing in the videos, still as old as they were. Just a few modifications have been done to them. In fact, it was a huge disappointment when we got to the GCD and noticed that the place
Which is supposed to be a huge...
Exactly. So consider your GCD, your typical, let's say, Ashanti gold mines. So you would have the mining unit itself.
Everything
you would have
around
them having their estates for their staff.
Their school.
Their school.
School bus.
School, everything. Their clubhouse and all that. But it looks dead. It looks dead.
What about other amenities? So hospitals, schools, what did you see?
Hospitals, like I mentioned, the main one would be the St. Dominic's, which is in the heart of the Akwatia township. As for the schools, they are scattered, mostly public schools. And we all know, even in the major cities, we know the state of our public schools. To talk of that of Akwatia, it was until recently that, the history they tell us is that they benefited from the Community Day Senior High School, and so they have one of that in Takrasi. Then the Cadet Senior High School, which used to hold classes in the defunct, they had a matches manufacturing or matches factory.
Really?
Yes, in Cadet. That used to serve as classrooms for the Cadet Senior High School. And they credit Professor Mills for helping the school get its own campus and some level of infrastructure. So, yes, they have the major hospital, that's the St. Dominic's. When it comes to education at the basic level, you see a number of public schools dotted around. For the senior high, it's just about 3. I think the Akwatia Senior High Technical. Yes, Akwatia Senior High Technical. Then they have a community day school, and then you have the Cadet Senior High School. Then you have St. Rose's. So that's at the senior high level.
Of course, I won't ask if they have a university because it's a small township. Right. But I noticed that you interviewed the NDC candidate, who is the lawyer for the former PC 10 candidate. I didn't see from the MPP side, I didn't interview the candidate. What happened?
Well, what happened was that all attempts to reach the candidate of the NPP proved futile. In fact, we were in constant communication with the secretary of the party in the constituency, and they kept telling us that they had moved from one funeral in one town to another funeral in one town. Okay. You know, funerals are big. in some of these areas. And it's important that a candidate seeking to win the votes of the people will attend to some of these funerals. And so they kept telling us that they had moved from one funeral to the other. At a point, we had wanted to trace them to to a funeral which was closer to the township, so we could engage them. But just when we were about to set up, they called that their team had moved to another funeral in another town, which is farther off. And so we didn't have much of it. But however, the concern is that the NDC was also engaged in similar activities. They were also attending funerals and other events as part of their campaign. However, they were available for their candidate was available for an interview. He actually even gave us a few minutes of his time just before he headed into a strategic meeting as part of his campaign.
Yesterday, on Sunday, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, went to the constituency leading a number of NDC members to do whistle stops. Did you also chance upon a delegation from the NPP? Do you know what approach of campaigning they are going to do? Would they be doing large rallies? Or they're going to do door-to-door? How do you know, based on what you've seen? So
following the endorsement of Solomon Esumedu as the NPP's candidate, I think a week after, there was a walk, a unity walk in the constituency, one to outdoor him, and two to whip up enthusiasm among the base of the party, and then also to bring in to make it clear that Mr. Esumedu was the candidate of the party, and for which reason he's a homeboy, and that people should come out on September to vote for him. However, this weekend, we didn't witness that level of activity on the part of the NPP. The NDC, like I said, although we're engaging in attending these funerals and other events, also had pockets of campaigning ongoing. So you see a van with the OBs on it and blaring and, of course, announcing Bernard Bediako. There was a little bit of that activity on the part of the NPP, but if we are comparing, the NDC looks to be more aggressively campaigning in Akwatia than the NPP is doing.
Let's talk to our correspondent in the Eastern region, Neoni Amate Kanako. He was also in the constituency, actually has been covering the constituency for us all these years. So how are preparations coming based on your knowledge of the constituency? How are things looking? Because Akwatia is a very political constituency, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is, Sanda. And preparations are ongoing, and I would say that everything is set for the by-election. When you take security into perspective, you realize that a number of checkpoints have been mounted at every entry to Akwatia. Now, yesterday, when we got to Wenchi itself, Wenchi is very close to the Akemodan area, but it's within the Akwatia constituency. When entering Wenchi itself, we got to see two different checkpoints, which were being manned by close to 15 police personnel. So in terms of security, I would say the IGP, as he indicated that he was going to ensure an incident-free by-election, he's really doing his bit to ensure that security is also very tight. Yesterday, I spoke to the Eastern Regional Minister, who happens to be the chairperson for the Regional Security Council. She was also assuring, also urging people to come out in their numbers to vote, and also indicated that people should not be scared or intimidated by the level of security presence in Akwatia. She indicated that this was just to ensure that all grounds are covered with regards to security. And as we've been seeing, a number of arrests who have been made with regards to people who are trying to, in some way, smuggle some weapons into Akwatia. We should know that Akwatia, because Akwatia is a mining constituency, a mining area, majority of these people within the area are miners. And then these miners, we know that when you go to their site, some of them, as form of protection, they use these weapons, pump actions, and other rifles in protecting their sites and what have you. So when the security came around, a number of arrests and a number of weapons have been intercepted in that regard. Now, when it comes to political activities in the particular area, yesterday the NPP's Solomon Asumadu held a football gala at the Roman Park in the Buadia area, which was also a form of campaigning, because you know the youth are into sports and football, so he used the opportunity to get a number of youth to the Roman Park where they had the sporting activity there. Now, with the NDC, the Chief of Staff, Zebra was there with a host of other national and then regional executives. He came in with a board chairman of Cocoa Board, who happens to be the former chairman of the party. Samuel Ofoswan Popo was there. Ambassador to United States, Victor Smith, was with him. A host of others in the Faha Castle, and a number of people joined the Chief of Staff, including the regional minister, the regional chairman, and then the Council of State rep for the Eastern Region, Madam Evelyn Kran, who also visited the OCO division of the Achimba-Akwa traditional state. Now, during this visit, the Chief of Wenchi indicated that he doesn't want people to associate Akwatia with electoral violence. We all know what happened in the past, the previous by-elections which was held in Akwatia. We all know what happened in Akwatia, where a number of people were maimed, others got injured during the violent attacks. Now, he was really saddened by this. He indicated that personally he's held series of engagement with both parties, that is the NPP and the NDC. He's called on them to call their members to order. He also engaged the clergy and also told the clergy to use their podiums and platforms to preach the message to the good people of Akwatia that when you finish voting on the day of election, just stay in your house. If you don't have any pivotal role to play at the collation center, do not come out. Go and vote. After voting, you go home and be in your room and monitor whatever would go on your radio set or on your TVs. So the traditional council are also doing their bit to ensure that this particular Akwatia by-election comes on smooth without any incident. So, Sanda, this has been the engagement within the Akwatia enclave. The Chief of Staff also met the clergy at GCD before having a closed-door meeting with miners in the area. So, Sanda, all is set for the Akwatia by-election, I can tell you.
So the Akwatia Constituency is a cosmopolitan area, like Natufo has said to us. Everybody is there from every part of this country, obviously because of the mines. But Natufo has also given me the indication that mining is not as big as it ought to be or it used to be, and that people are diverting more into agriculture. What's the Galamsey situation in Akwatia? We've heard of it in other neighboring districts, but is it also a major issue in Akwatia, for instance?
In terms of the constituency itself, the Akwatia constituency itself, Galamsey is a big issue. Now, majority of the people are engaging in mining. We have small-scale mining companies there in Akwatia, and then we have those who do the kuri-kuri, that is on the side, the daily bread activity of form of mining there. When you go to Achimwenchi, mining is on the high. When you go to Okumeni, when you go to Takrase, Amiaso, Topreman, Swabe, majority of the areas in Akwatia is known for mining. First it was because of the diamond. Because of the diamond. But now gold is also in Akwatia, and majority of the guys are doing mining in Akwatia. Sanda. Some people are trying to or also have some farms in that particular area. But mining, when you talk about Akwatia, when anybody who mentions Akwatia, it's all about mining, Sanda.
Thank you, Neoni Amati Kanakwisa, Eastern Region correspondent. Now to so you couldn't return with diamond, even the people there haven't seen the diamond. But you returned with news which you are sharing with us.
Yeah.
And over
but they showed us some diamonds, actually.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw diamonds for the first time in your life?
Yeah.
I've never been to Akwatia. In fact, I will go there and also look for
But I wanted
diamonds.
to get some of that. You know the equipment they used to check it, will do pipping.
Whether it's proper
Whether it's proper. You know the musicians have been doing it.
Akwatia, no, what's the name of that guy? He said, what's you free Akwatia by the glass?
Yeah, the glass, I don't know what diamond.
So I'm sure that's what they did to you. That's also, over the next 6 days, 6 working days, we'll be doing this, right?
Yeah.
And our listeners should be expecting more, correct?
Indeed.
Election day.
We'll be here every 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. and we'll bring in our viewers and our listeners up to speed with activities in Akwatia, what factors are likely to influence the by-election, the history of the area, how the constituency has voted over the years, and even look at the security presence in Akwatia and all.
So that's my boss, Deputy Head of News, Nana Buachi. Hey, Nana to 4 Buachi.
What's going on
Umaru
today?
Sanda. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. on 97.3 CTFM and on Channel 1 TV with Akwatia Watch. Please stay with us.